Hello and welcome back. We are the Anime Normies. I'm Anthony.
And I'm Anna.
And in this episode, we are talking about our favorite anime trios. It's one of the most common tropes that you see in anime all the time. In almost any popular anime, there's some sort of trio.
What do you think makes an anime trio iconic?
I think it's how dynamic the relationship is. It's a trio that allows the other people in the trio to grow. And, there's going to be, I think they can't be perfect, right? I think it's healthy to argue and to figure things out, just like any sort of friend group or some sort of family. What about you?
I think an iconic trio is people that support one another, people that have a lot of growth. I like a mix, like a variety. Like not everyone in the trio is the same. Like some people are chaotic, some person's the mom of the group. Like you want a good variety to kind of balance out the group.
Definitely, yeah. I think everyone in the group definitely has to add to the overall growth of the group. We have our top three and then an honorable mention.
I have five.
You have five, okay.
I do. And I did not necessarily rank them. But I can just rank them as we go.
Okay, well, then you start off then.
So my first honorable mention is going to be Nobara, Yuji, and Megami.
From JJK?
From JJK.
Okay.
I feel like, honestly, I feel like they're like the modern day Naruto trio, but like better.
More adult.
I like their dynamics better. And I just want to say, I preference like most of my trios based off like, I would want to be in this trio kind of vibe. And like I would love to be friends with all of them. I think they have a really good mix of like, Yuji's fun and chaotic, and then Megami is like more stern and he's like a strategist, and then Nobara's just like a queen and she's strong, and they're just so fun. Like they have a good mix of being absolutely hilarious together and then also being badass together, like slaying these curses.
Yeah, I think there's definitely that obvious contrast between the outgoing one in Yuji and then the more reserved and more serious one with Megumi, and then Nobara obviously is a really good middle ground. My favorite moment or scene with them was when there was a girl that was interested in Yuji, and Megumi and Nobara got like all excited about it. I think that's just very relatable because we all have that one friend who, is maybe oblivious romantically, and you got their friends kind of either giving them crap about being like oblivious or just like trying to like encourage them to like pull the trigger and like, make moves.
I also really like platonic trios where everyone's like best friends, almost siblings, and between all of them, like they're kind of like siblings. Like Nobara is not romantically involved in either of these guys, but they're just, I don't know, they just have this funny platonic relationship while also having this like really good battle strategy with each other.
Yeah, it's a very natural dynamic. So now, spoiler alert for season 2, Nobara then dies. And I don't think it's been, and we're watching season 3 now, it really hasn't been the same. It really does feel like something has been missing.
Yeah, it's sad, and sorry that trio had to come to an end. I wish that was not the case. I'm still in denial. Like I feel like she's gonna come back. I just don't believe she's dead. The moment she died, I was like, no way.
Yeah, so we're not manga readers. I don't know if there's some crazy curse technique or whatever, and I'm not expecting her to come back.
No, and in season 3 when they're like, oh, like yes, she is dead, I'm like, no, she's not. Stop, she's alive, she's not dead.
Yeah, no, JJK didn't make it mine, but that's a good honorable mention.
I really like them.
Yeah, well,
and I like that Nobara isn't like this side character girl in the trio. Like they are all like very important in their own respects, and
yeah,
she's like a badass girl who definitely is doing a lot and saves them.
She pulls her weight, and she's definitely not like some filler character for a trio.
Okay, what's your honorable mention?
So my honorable mention, and I know I'm gonna get crap for this, and I don't care, like I want all the smoke, is the Team 7 in Naruto.
Why would you get a lot of smoke?
Well, because
like
a lot
of
the most
iconic one.
Well, because a lot of people are going to say, "Oh, that should be number 1," or "That should be the top 3."
Oh, okay, I see.
The reason why I'm putting them as honorable mention is because I cannot deny how recognizable Team 7 is. I can spend this whole podcast talking about how they don't deserve to be number one or in my top three, but I am giving them honorable mention because, yes, they are very popular. They're very iconic, very recognizable, and I acknowledge that. But as an actual team, as an actual group, it's pretty much Naruto and Sasuke. I mean, Sakura, I don't feel like really adds to the group. I don't think she promotes any growth. I think she's just poorly written. And, honestly, if she wasn't part of Team 7, I don't think they would have been any more or less successful. And, I hate that. I hate that Sakura wasn't written well enough to really have Team 7 reach the potential that it could have been. She barely does anything as a ninja in Naruto. Like before Shippuden, like in Naruto, she barely adds any sort of value within the fights. She just seems like she's just like this generic damsel in distress, kind of whiny, teeny bop girl that's crushing on Sasuke, which is like really toxic in itself. And I don't know, she's just not a dynamic or interesting character at all. That by itself just like makes them.
You're like,
undeserving.
Here's my honorable mention, but actually I hate this.
Exactly. But I am respecting their popularity. Now, the relationship between Naruto and Sasuke, I know I've said this before, and I'll say it again. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't think that Naruto going on this 3 or 4 or 5 year long search to find his quote unquote best friend, it's just not believable. I mean, they had, the Zabuza arc and they had the Chunin exams, but besides that, like there isn't any sort of development to convince me that Naruto has this conviction. Like, there's nothing there that justifies the conviction that Naruto has to go out of his way to think that this terrorist, essentially, is worth fighting for. I would believe Naruto chasing after Shikamaru. I would believe Naruto chasing after Choji. And, Shikamaru is one of the few people that is actually nice to Naruto. And Sasuke is never nice to Naruto. So again, like, if Sasuke is never nice to Naruto, then where did the friendship ever begin? They were not friends. They were coworkers, and that's about it. It just wasn't developed like you see in some of the other trios that we'll get into.
There's no doubt that Team 7 is honestly one of the most iconic anime trios out there, but this is not about the most iconic. We're naming our favorites, and I told you, like, I picked my favorites off of like a group that I'd want to be in. I do not want to be in that group of kids. I do not want to be a part of that trio. Also, they are a love triangle, and I hate love triangles.
It's not even a good love triangle.
Yeah, no, I don't like love triangles. They're a love triangle trio. So that's already sad. Naruto's pining after Sakura. Sakura's pining after Sasuke. And honestly,
Naruto's pining for Sasuke.
They're barely a trio. Honestly, from like the original Naruto into Shippuden, they're really not together for a good chunk of that. I mean, I guess in Boruto, I haven't seen Boruto, but I guess it's much better in Boruto. But yeah, for the majority of the original Naruto and Shippuden, Sasuke is not with them. So I wouldn't say that's a super awesome trio that I would want to be a part of, at least.
They're coworkers.
Great honorable mention that sounds like you don't even like.
No, I'm just doing that to appease some people who would be upset. So, okay, what's your number 4?
Well, okay, yeah. So I really didn't rank these because it was too hard for me, but I don't want to even say that's an honorable mention. My top 4 are honestly unranked, but I'll just go into my 4th now.
That works.
I chose Frieren, Fern, and Stark. As I know it's like kind of a newer trio, but I love them. We've been watching season 2, and I love them together as a trio. Frieren is like this mom, but kind of not a mom. Fern's almost like the mom. They have a very interesting dynamic. Fern is like the one that has to parent everyone, but obviously Freeman has the most experience, and these are her kids that she's like guiding and teaching. And then Stark is like this insecure guy, but honestly he's secretly very strong, and I think he's coming a long way. And Fern is like this kind of stern, motherly type, but still like girlish at heart. I know I said that I didn't like super love trios that had some sort of romance aspect, but in their case, I make an exception because I absolutely ship Fern and Stark. And then, you know, Freeman's like older, so it's okay because she's not like left out. She's like 1,000 years old, so she doesn't want to be a part of that. But they just love them. They're so cute. And like the second season, you've seen a lot of like slow bonding. I like absolutely believe their love and loyalty for each other through all these adventures that they're going on, and we're seeing that they're learning to battle more congruently with each other. They've had a lot of growth, I'd say, over the last season.
Yeah, I think what really sets this trio apart from all the other trios in anime is that you have someone like Frieren, who has already lived a full life, has already been on adventures, and being the experienced one of the group. And then you've got two inexperienced younger people who are growing up not only as adventurers but as people. And you don't see that a lot, because a lot of times, like in JJK and in Naruto, they're all the same. They're all the same age. They're all going.
They're peers.
They're peers.
All these people are peers. Freeren's not really their peer.
Right. Freeren's not their peer. But at the same time, you know, Frieren is still learning from them as well. And so to build off the fact that Frieren is kind of like a guide in these series battle moments, Frieren allows them to be independent, and she gives them the opportunity to prove themselves so that they can grow, while at the same time, you know, showing up when it matters so that, you know, they don't die. But she's not carrying the team in these battles, because she probably absolutely could just do this by herself in a lot of ways. But again, allowing, you know, Stark to kill the dragon on his own, allowing him to have that experience, allowing him to feel it's really up to him. And same thing with Fern, like just giving her these moments to grow on her own.
I like how they also mirror Frieren's previous party, and how they remind her so much of her previous party, and like being with them, she's able to reflect on like all the great times that she had with them. And maybe she didn't know it at the moment, but now she's getting to like have this nostalgia with her new party members, and it makes her more grateful for the times that she had with her previous party.
In Frieren, like they give a lot of time of the episode on like these little moments, and then you see them being able to understand and learn from each other with these moments, you know, like, so Stark will learn like, oh, like I shouldn't do certain things, or I shouldn't say certain things because Fern will get upset. And that's something that we all can relate to. And that shows, you know, character development and relationships being developed. And that makes it.
Yeah, it makes me believe the friendship.
Yeah, it makes me believe that, oh, they've actually experienced things that we all have experienced when we have friends or family.
Mm-hmm. Was this one of your top people?
They are in my top three.
Okay.
The Frieren trio is in my top three.
All right, that was like my second honorable mention. So now I guess we'll actually get into our.
So I'm really interested to see what your top three are, because they're in my top three. My number 3 is actually Pokemon. Ash,
of course.
Misty, and Brock. Now, this might have been a little bit of a nostalgia pick, but this trio was my first anime trio, and they taught me a lot about relationships, because Ash, Misty, and Brock are such distinct personalities, and they're not necessarily cohesive at the very beginning. You know, you got Ash, who's a little impulsive and he's very ambitious, always in a good mood, and Misty kind of like, she kind of butts heads with how ambitious he can be. She tries to put him in his place a lot of the times.
Well, Misty's just there to get money for her bike.
Yeah.
At first, Misty's like, you're paying me back.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm following you around.
Yeah. So she's she's a little bit of a hothead, and she like will argue with Ash all the time. And then you have Brock, who's like the big brother of the group, who is very grounded, which is funny because he is a rock type gym trainer. And so he's the big brother that's level headed. He's goofy, but he knows when to be serious. Yeah, he's just like the caregiver of the group.
Which makes sense because Brock is the oldest brother to like a million siblings.
Yeah.
And his dad's a deadbeat, so he has to like take care of all his siblings. So it makes sense that Brock like wrangles these two hotheads. I love how Ash and Misty absolutely have like some of the most classic like sibling relationships. The Ash is always like calling her ugly, which is like such a brother thing to do to his sister.
The bickering is so relatable.
Oh my gosh, their like little quips to each other are hilarious. Ash is quick with it.
Yeah. Towards the end of their journey, I mean, Missy does become way more supportive, way more understanding of Ash.
Yeah, I mean, it becomes less about the money for her bike, and they're just like genuine friends.
They're genuine friends, yeah. So
iconic.
Yeah, absolutely iconic trio.
Next up, this is not a super traditional one, but I love this trio, and it's Jean, Sasha, and Connie.
Ooh, that is a good one.
I love this trio. I would want to be a part of this trio. I think that they're ordinary soldiers in the sense, and they're obviously not the main trio of their own show, but they're just their dynamic is so funny. Like they're hilarious, but they have like very strong loyalty to each other, and they also have like a lot of character development amongst all three of them. All three of them have huge character arcs and come a long way. I love them together. They have the funniest scenes in AOT, and I truly believe their friendship from these like little moments that they have.
Yeah. They make fun of each other, which I think is hilarious, and they're always joking around. In season 4, when Jean tells Connie and Sasha that they're very special to him and that he couldn't imagine losing him. There's
a scene in season 1 where Connie's like walking by and Jean like rubs his hand on his back, and Connie's like, "What? Stop! Like, why are you rubbing on me?" And he's like, "My loyalty." And just from then on, like all three of them are like really best friends. And John, kind of starts off as this like almost like selfish kind of guy. He's just like in the military, but he really wants to be in the military police. He's a cynic. He doesn't want to even be in the scouts. Sasha is just like kind of running from her hometown and is this like country bumpkin girl that only cares about food. And
Connie's never serious.
Connie's like never serious.
Connie's just never serious.
But then, they all grow and they have some of the best moments, I think, in AOT. I love when they like make it to the sea for the first time after they take back Shiganshina, and all three of them are like playing in the water, and it's just like a really beautiful moment before like absolute sad shit happens.
Before Eren ruins it.
Before Eren's like, "Ooh, what about our enemies across the sea? Like, shut up. Like, we're looking at seashells and splashing each other."
I remember there was a moment where it was in the arc where they're trying to take Shiganshina back, and there's rubble and fire like in the air, and Connie just says like a joke. And like, how are you joking in a moment where everyone is literally dying?
And that's just like who they were. Yeah. I feel like they're so relatable too. They're just the three like kind of more normal people of the group. Obviously, there's Armin, Mikasa, and Eren, who's like the main trio of the show.
Right.
But like, if I had to choose who I'd want to be a part of, I want to be part of their group.
Yeah, they're having more fun.
Dude, I don't want to be friends with Armin and Mikasa and
no,
Eren.
That's a weird dynamic.
They got too much going on. In the end, obviously, I keep choosing all these trios where one of them dies. Weird. It's like also the girl that dies, but it's very devastating for me. But in the end, when it's like Jean and Connie, and you see Sasha like doing the salute to them, when you see all like the dead comrades, that was tough. That was devastating. I was bawling at that scene. You can just tell there's true camaraderie between the three of them.
Yeah. That's a good one. I didn't think about that trio. That's a really, really good one. Number 2, I've got Chainsaw Man, Denji, Ahi, and Power. Now, the reason why I love this trio is because they're absolutely chaotic. Power is just a narcissist, and she doesn't care for really anyone except for herself, and she's plunged into living with these two other guys, and Denji is just kind of also unhinged in his own way. You have Aki, who is again probably the bigger brother of the group, who's more grounded, but he also has his own trauma, follows the rules, but again he's dealing with his own stuff. And so when you put them into an apartment, like there's really funny scenes between Denji and Power. Even when Denji and Power are like training with each other, it's just so funny. It's very brotherly, sisterly. The bickering is funny. And then just Aki being annoyed by those two, again, is just like a huge big brother moment.
Mm-hmm.
And I love at the end of season 1 when you just see them living their life. They're going shopping, they're eating sushi together, moments where they're going, eating out. Like that is real. Like that is what roommates and friends do together. And I love that because despite how chaotic they are, and despite all the trauma that they've all been to, they still find a way to do things together as like real people.
Yeah.
So I love that last scene in season 1 of Chainsaw Man.
They're actually also on my list, so I'll just like dive into them too. But I love this trio. You're right. I like how they start off as just like kind of this like ragtag, chaotic roommate group. Like honestly, Aki has to just like watch over these like borderline delinquents. But then they really turn into a family. They're like a chosen family, and they have these great moments together that you're like, okay, these people I think genuinely care about each other. Like Denji helps Power like get her cat back, and just like cute little things like that. I love the moments of them just like eating just food in their apartment. I think they all have a really great platonic relationship, and they do have loyalty to one another, and they're just funny. Like
they are hilarious.
Denji and Power are just chaos incarnate, and then Aki just has to like wrangle them.
He just has to deal with them.
I like the scene where like Denji and Power are like trying to outsmart that one guy that's training them.
Yeah.
And so they like wear these glasses, and they're like, if we put these glasses on, we're smart.
We're gonna be so smart.
We're so smart. They're just like funny because they're so
funny.
dumb. And this is a spoiler for the Chainsaw Man movie, but at the end, when Denji's obviously very, very sad about something, and Power comes in and is kind of like this comedic relief. I genuinely feel like she sees that her friend is sad, and she's like this comedic relief, and is like trying to cheer him up in the end. I think that was just a really cute little tidbit about their relationship.
Despite being chaotic, immature, and selfish, they all still learn to care for each other. When Denji and Power visited Aki at the hospital, and he brought him like apples, that's a small gesture, but that shows that Denji is trying. It's little moments like that really shows some sort of believability. Denji and Power also remind me of like the sibling that like takes the hand of like her little sister and tells him like, stop hitting yourself. Like, stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself.
Yes, they are. They definitely have a very funny sibling dynamic. I think it's so funny too when Denji, like in the beginning, he just wants to like touch boobs and stuff, and Power lets her touch his or her boobs, and afterwards he was like, I didn't really like that. And it's like probably because she's like a sister to you. It's like touching your sister's boobs.
And I think it's also that he realizes that, a lot of these things that he thought was a big deal aren't actually a big deal. Like he's very into like superficial things, and then I think that's part of his growth is that he's learning that there's more to life than these superficial things. So
no, I think it's because it was like touching his sister's boobs.
I mean,
because when he saw Makima, he was like, "Oh, this rocks."
I guess so. All right, yeah. So that was my number 2.
Mm-hmm.
What do you have next?
Okay, so I guess that was on my list. I didn't really have it ranked by any means, but next up, I would have. I guess it's my number 1, but like I said, mine really aren't that ranked. And you're not gonna know these people, but Toru Uotani and Hanajima from Fruits Basket. This is a girl trio. They're just like high school girlfriends, and I think that they are a phenomenal trio. They are the most ideal friends you would ever want. They're really good friends. They all are very different personalities. Like obviously Toru is just this sweet little innocent girl who is absolutely selfless, would do anything for anybody, often is taken advantage of because she's so selfless. And then Utani is an ex-gangbanger who was in a literal gang. And then you have Hanajima, who is like this like goth girl witch who it's heavily implied that she has psychic powers. And all three of them might be so different in their own aspects, but they're all brought together because all three of them are like these ostracized individuals that don't really have friends. And they get brought together and they are like the most solid group of girlfriends you could ever want. They are so loyal to each other, and each of them are like ride or die friends. I would love to be in this trio. They are the sweetest girls and they like stick up for each other. Like you cannot fuck with Toru because these girls will have her back. I would say probably is one of my favorite trios in anime. It's not like your typical trio where they like are fighting, and it's not like a fighting anime where they're badasses beating up bad guys. They're just a solid group of girlfriends that show you what it means to be a true friend.
I like that. I'm sure a lot of people didn't expect that trio. You really thought about that.
Well, so Fruits Basket is like a heavily romantic show. I mean, everybody is in a relationship with somebody. It's a romance anime. And I like this trio. They balance kind of this really heavy romance theme, but then at the end of the day, you know, your girls will have your back no matter, you know, what romance is going on. You always have your girl group to kind of lean on.
That's a good one. Yeah. Okay. And then, yeah, I had Free Rent at number 1.
Okay, so I'll ask you some questions about these groups that we picked, and we can kind of talk about which one we would think. Okay. So, like for the first one, what group do you think would best survive a zombie apocalypse?
Oh man, zombie apocalypse, like with powers or just based off of
with powers.
With powers, I mean,
we picked some really strong people.
Yeah, I mean, Team 7 probably because they're gods, but like if you remove their powers, I actually still think that they would do pretty well.
Why are you removing their powers?
I don't know, because I'm trying to focus more on their dynamic and how they would logically deal with zombies. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think Power, Denji, and Aki would survive a zombie apocalypse. I think Nobara, Yuji, and Megumi would absolutely survive.
I think they would all do well, honestly.
I think they'd all do well.
I don't know about your Fruits Basket.
Fruits Basket, those girls, I love those babies so much. Yeah. They are not surviving.
Friren's trio absolutely will
Friren's trio is surviving.
Absolutely.
Jean, Sasha, and Connie, they are surviving.
Yeah.
They are surviving, and they're going to be so funny the whole time.
Yeah.
Which of these groups would you want to take to the club?
To the club, absolutely the Chainsaw Man trio. They would be so fun. Power would try to like start a bar fight, and Denji would throw himself in there, and then Aki would try to pull them out. Mm-hmm. He'd be the one reasoning with the bartender or the bouncer to like not kick them out.
Yeah.
You know, Aki would be out in the alleyway smoking a cigarette. Like,
I think they'd be fun, but dude, you're getting kicked out of the bar.
You're getting kicked out of the bar.
For sure, getting kicked out. I think I would go to the club with Jean, Sasha, and Connie. I think they would be a blast in the club.
We kind of saw that.
I mean, Jean and Connie, I think would be like trying to mac on girls. Like they definitely be flirting. And then Sasha's like, I can imagine Sasha just throwing drinks back. Yeah. And then Sasha's gonna be like, can we go get munchies? Like, I want to go to Taco Bell now.
Yeah, she would actually probably be making people do shots too.
I think they would be on the dance floor tearing it up.
Yeah. It would be so fun, actually. Mm-hmm. If you want like an actual good time, that would be a better pick than the Chainsaw Man. Chainsaw Man, if you want a chaotic time and unpredictable night, then yeah, pick them. Who do you think you could last the longest with on a road trip?
Oh my gosh.
I think the Chainsaw Man, I would last maybe 2 hours. And then I would be done.
They'd be fine in the backseat. You'd be like, shut the fuck up.
First of all, I think Power would just smell bad because she doesn't bathe. So I couldn't be in a car that long with her. Mm-hmm. I would probably last the longest with Free Rent, there's like that sexual tension between Fern and Stark that I feel like would be kind of unbearable towards the end. So maybe I wouldn't be able to last very long.
I would be like, oh my God, kiss already. Yeah. God dang. Freerin, I think she'd be pissing me off with her like time.
Oh my
like,
gosh.
she would just, I just feel like she'd want to do these side things. And I'm like, girl, absolutely not. That's gonna take way too long.
Freerin is going to ask us to pull over at every stop where they, there's going to be a billboard that says, world's greatest, like, or biggest donut or world's greatest coffee. And she's like, oh, we have to pull over and try that. Like, no.
There could be a Grimoire there. Let's go
Yeah.
there. Like, no, we're never gonna make it to the destination.
In America, if you drive long enough, you're gonna run into like these random museums, and she's gonna want to visit every single one of them.
I think my fruits basket people I would have a blast with. They're just gonna probably be like the sweetest, most considerate girls, and we just be having a sweet time, and everyone be looking out for each other. I think you could probably travel across all of America, like coast to coast with those people.
Yeah, I think probably them then. Probably last the longest with them.
Yeah,
sounds like it.
Who would you rather take to meet your family?
Oh my god.
Honestly, none of these people besides my fruit basket girls.
Like a sleepover.
Like a sleepover. Oh my gosh. Power, Denji, and Aki, my parents are gonna be pissed. It's gonna be like 3 a.m. and they're like tearing the house up, and my mom would come down and be like, you all need to shut the fuck up and go to sleep.
It would be torn up. Things would be broken. The kitchen would be an absolute mess. I would not invite them at all to a sleepover.
I think my mom would absolutely love Sasha. Like if you brought John, Sasha, and Connie, because my mom like loves to cook for people, and Sasha would just like eat and eat and eat and never stop. And my mom would be like, "Oh my gosh, here, have more." My mom would like never stop cooking.
Sasha would empty your fridge, and I don't think I'd want that.
My mom would love that. She would absolutely love that. She'd be like, "You can bring that Sasha girl around anytime."
Connie seems like the guy who like is kind of messy and kind of inconsiderate, but you can't help but love him.
Yeah, I think any mom would like love Connie because he's just like this.
He's a lovable goofy
lovable goofy guy, and then John would be like, "Oh yes, ma'am, Like he's the one that's like the traditional like win your parents over type guy.
Dude, he's the one where your parents would compare him to you. Your mom and your mom and dad would be like, why aren't you more like Jean?
Why can't you be more like Jean? He's so respectful. He has manners. Why can't you be like that?
Yeah, and it would be so annoying, and Jean would eat it up.
Oh yeah, he would love that shit.
Yeah, your mom loves me. That's a good one.
Yeah, that would be a good one. Who would you rather be roommates with?
Ooh, like you're the fourth.
Like you're the fourth roommate.
The fourth roommate. Man,
I feel like there's a few. I'd be roommates with Nobara, Yuji, and Megami.
Yeah, that would actually be really good.
I think that'd be great.
I think the JJK trio would be the perfect balance for all of the situations that we've brought up. Like I would have them over for a sleepover. I would party with them. I wouldn't have to be worried about, bailing them out of jail. I think actually they would probably be the best in almost every
think they'd
scenario.
be really good roommates. Nobara, like I could go shopping with her.
Yeah.
She likes girly stuff. We go to the salon together.
Yeah.
We can do fun girly things. But then like, Nobara, Yuji, and Megami are also just like fun. Like you could do like board games with them. Like you could go out with them. Megami would like help you do your taxes. Like anything like really serious, you'd have like Megami help you with that.
And you could travel a lot with them. Like I feel like I can do a complete road trip with the JJK trio.
Yeah, I think there would be some arguing.
There'd be some arguing.
I think there'd be some arguing.
But
probably like over the map and like which direction you're going in and like what they want to do.
Usually would get lost or something. I don't know.
But I think overall I think they'd be fine.
Megami would be the navigator. You'd make Yuji drive. Nobara would just be like the ideas person. Like, oh, let's go shopping here or something. Yeah, they would be great, actually.
I would absolutely live with them. Well, that's it for our favorite anime trios. Please comment below some of your favorite anime trios.
Let us know what your list is, if you agree with our takes, and we will see you at the next episode. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. And
thanks for listening.
Thank you for listening, guys.